is called the double fold fan fold card, and this will fit into a standard envelope. And so we're going to learn how to make that. And this card actually, because it's so beautiful, you would want it to stand up. I'm just going to show you. It does stand up. So this is the card that you're going to learn how to make. And then you have the back side as well for your sentiment. So on this card, I'll be providing kits for this for whoever wants this card. What does that mean? That means that you will receive everything already cut and scored and punched out and all the pieces that go in here, and all you need to know is how to assemble it. And then, of course, whoever does order the kit will also get the directions for this. So anyway, so I'm selling this for $3 a card. So you can order as many as you want. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing we start with is a card base. And I already have this pre-scored. And let me see if you can see it. You can see it in the light a little bit. I scored it at 1 1/4, 2 1/2, 5, and 6 1/4. So once I scored that, I also then put it on my trimmer and made scored lines that were like an X. And that's, that's pretty easy to do. If you have, one of these little paper trimmers, when you get your score lines, I'm just going to show you. When you get your score lines, you get your straight lines done, then you just line up corner to corner and use your scoring blade and score those diagonals. So also to prepare for this card, you will need to cut the decorations, the paper. This one uses 2 layers. If you wanted to make it simpler, you could just have 1 layer, but this one contains 2 layers, a silver matte and one with designer series paper. Now this is from our snowflake paper, and it's beautiful paper. I used a pattern that had mostly navy in it. I used this pattern. This set is also on sale in our designer series paper, but you can see how beautiful some of those snowflakes are. They come with purples and other colors. So it's all snowflakes and beautiful background prints. So anyway, this is one of the papers on sale, and I picked the one that had the most navy in it. So with that, you're going to need to cut pieces, these triangles, and it really isn't difficult at all. So what I'm going to show you is how I cut each of those pieces. For the designer series paper, I cut 3 1/4 inch strips by 2 inches. And then I took 2 of them and I cut from the upper left down to the lower right. I cut 2 of them in a diagonal like that. And I cut 2 starting from the upper right corner, going down to the lower left. So that's how I cut the paper for the little triangles. And then I did the same for the matting. But I took a 1 inch strip by 2 1/4. I did 4 of those. And I did the same thing. I went from the upper left down to the lower right, put that in my trimmer, put those corners right on the track of the cutting blade and cut it. And then I did the same with the other. I cut 2 from the upper right down to the bottom left. And then what happens from there is that you'll glue all of these on to each of these mats. So you'll take these 4 and you will transfer them and adhere them onto this. So that's how I got all of those pieces. So right now I'll take out the rest of the card. And I already did part of it. The only other piece I wanted to show you is that to get these side triangles right here, I had to take a 1 inch strip, and I'll show you how to do it so that I took a 1 by 5 inch strip and I marked the center, which is at 2 1/2. I marked the center with a little pen, or I thought I did. If not, I will mark it at 2 1/2. And then I took and put the mark in my track blade, right in the cutting track, the mark plus the corner. and I use my cutting blade and cut off one end. And then I do the same with the other. Put one corner in the track blade, line up the center mark that you had in the track blade, cutting track, and then cut. So that's how you form your triangles. So, and that's what was used in the very corner of this card. So that's how you create your pieces for this card. And then of course, now I showed you how to score it. Now what I'm going to do is show you how to fold it. So, let's see, do I have an extra piece? I have one piece that's already scored. I showed you. And I put it somewhere. Goodness. Okay, so what we're first going to do, and we're going to have a bone fold, have our bone folder to help crease it and make this, the edges really crisp and nice folds. As soon as I can find my bone folder. Let's see here. Can't find it, so I am going to improvise. I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to take one of the first diagonals and I'm going to fold it on one of the diagonals on one side. And I'm just going to use my nail. And then I'm going to take the other diagonal and I'm going to fold it on its diagonal on the inside. So that takes care of one side. And I'm going to repeat that on the other side. Fold on the diagonal and crease. And then fold on the diagonal and crease. Okay, so now you can see more clearly the X that forms this card. Now these little inside circles, we're going to form a mountain with them. So I'm going to take the insides and I'm going to create a mountain fold with them. Just lift them up like this. And that's your mountain fold. And then I'm going to lay my paper down now that they're folded and go ahead and crease my card this way. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to make mountains out of those little triangles that are in the middle. Just crease it on there and then fold it. And then these two lines that are left that are scored, that are down the middle, you're gonna fold those back to the back side of the card because this is now going to be your front. Okay, and so now we have the shape of our card. And we're going to decorate the card, but just know that this is how it will fold when you're done with it. So this card becomes this card in the end. So now we've got our fold. It's just a matter of scoring and folding. And now we're just going to decorate it. Now here I've got all my little triangles already adhered. And so this part I'm going to adhere to each of the card pieces. And I'm sure you probably don't want to watch me do the whole thing, but just so you know where each of the pieces are going. The large triangle will go on each end, and then each of these triangles will fit, and you can tell that one fits over here, will fit in each of these corners. Now don't be afraid of this card, because remember, when you get the kit, all of this will be cut for you. You just need to glue and fold. Goes pretty quick. Once all the pieces are done, it goes really quick. So again, this is called the double fold fan fold card. And when you get the kit, you will also get directions for this card with all the dimensions and how to make it. Okay, I think I need one more little guy. He'll show up, I'm sure. And I got one more big guy. Oh, these are, I found them.
It's so beautiful. That Snowflake Slender set of paper also has purples in it. Lots of different blues, and then all the purples, just like the first frost. So you could make many variations of this card too.
Yeah, yeah, you got me going now, Kelly. Yeah. All right, and so now this is the center. This is 2 1/4 by 5 1/4, and then this is 1/4 inch less. So we'll put that on the center. Okay, so now most of our card base is done, and now we have our poinsettia to assemble. And I wanted you to notice on this, this is where it's embossed. Remember we were talking about the poinsettias dies earlier, how you can cut and emboss at the same time. So by using the inside insert for the dies, you can get this embossed look. So that's awfully pretty, and I love that effect. And you can do it with one pass in your Big Shot or your Stampin' Cut in emboss machine. You can cut all of these flowers and emboss them all at once. So that's a bonus. Now the extra thing that I wanted to show you was the fact that you could make this a little bit more 3D by taking your bone folder or other tool like I am and curl the edges before you glue them together. So this will give you a little bit more of a 3D look when you put the flower together. So see how that curled up just a little bit, and so that gives it a 3D look. So I'm going to do that to each of these petals that'll be layered together. And be careful, because this little guy, I think I was doing it one time and I was pretending it was that ribbon, that curling ribbon, right? And I pulled one of the leaves right off, you know. So yeah, don't go too hard. It is paper after all. And so we'll put our poinsettia, we'll offset the first layer so it fills in the negative space, and we'll put the next layer on as well. And then we'll put this up with dimensionals onto our card. I like to put 2 because we're going to be sticking some extra pieces. I'm going to put that about 2/3 from the bottom. And then we have some leaves that we're going to add and tuck underneath. Cut and emboss these navy leaves. You see how they're also embossed too? So that gives it a nice effect. So I just put it on the bottom portion, and I'll put some leaves in there. And it's fine to have it offset this middle piece, because when you close your card, it's all right to span off the edges, because it will be a beautiful centerpiece for your card. And it's okay to have that go off the center of the card. And for this one, we're using silver sprigs with our silver foil paper or metallic paper. I'm going to put that right inside the leaf. Okay. And then here. And then my favorite gem. Now this card is for special people. And if you want to, these are our beaded pearls. Now, I've never seen anything so beautiful. Look at these beautiful beaded pearls. This will go for the center, go in the center of our card. I mean, it's like a piece of jewelry. So I love that. And so I'm going to put that on with a glue dot. I'll just adhere it here. And we'll put that at the center of our card. So if you order one of these kits, you're going to get one of these beautiful centers too. So let's see. And then we have our saying, which we'll put on with pop-up or dimensionals. And put them near the center, because this little tag will stand off the center of the card a little bit. So we don't want it at the edges, because it's going to go off the card. So we'll keep them toward the center. And so we've got the Merry Christmas already stamped. And here we go. So that's our card. That is the outside of our card. And it's our finished card except for the sentiment on the back. And as you can see, it will also stand up for you. So can be displayed when the recipient receives it. So here we've got the inside piece. And if you wanted to add a little bit more to the back, I think in our retreat so far, Kelly, I don't know if we actually stamped anything. So I thought that I would, for the first time, show that we actually do stamping. You know, so I'm just going to stamp a little decoration on each of these pieces that go on the inside, just for a little dimension, and then adhere it to the back of our card. Here we go. Okay.
Just beautiful.
That's
Wow.
the finished card.
Wow.
So, any questions on this card, on this double fan fold card, and how it goes together? Okay, well, that's our demo for today. And remember that you can get this kit from me. Just email me or contact